This is the CHORTAU camera. It's a dash camera, comes with a backup camera as well. Just some things about this camera. It has this front camera, and then it comes with the mini backup camera that you can attach to the rear of your car as well. It says on there it takes full HD and 1080p video and pictures as well. We'll get into that. We'll see what it looks like. Some key features about this is the ability to split the video on your screen between your front camera and the back camera, so you're watching both of them at the same time. That's really beneficial when you're driving, you know, in a situation where you like to see both videos at once. This camera also has a picture sequence option, so you set it to that, and when it takes pictures, it doesn't take one picture, it takes a sequence of pictures. So it's almost like a video, but that's something that can eat up a lot of space as well. And then you can control your picture and video quality with this. With dash cams, it's usually always a good idea to go with the highest quality picture and video, so you know exactly what you're getting on there. Thank you so much for watching. I hope you're getting something out of this review. If you have any comments or any critiques or anything you'd like to say about this camera or this video, go ahead and leave a comment below. Coming up next, I'm gonna have deal breakers that will tell you exactly if you need this camera or if you do not want this camera. Thank you. So we're back. Deal breakers that might tip the balance for you if you're deciding on getting this camera. Now, if you don't want to do a lot of installation, this is definitely not the camera to get. Like I said, it has a lot of wires. You have to do some installation in the back, so you have to run wires through the car, through your trunk, and then screw in the rear camera. Now, if you really don't want to use the rear camera, that's fine. You can just kind of let that be, but that's one of the draws of this camera is that it has a backup camera if you want. Now, next is if you really want picture in picture, when you're recording and you're driving, you will see picture in picture, but when you get the actual videos, they're not going to be picture in picture. You're going to get two videos recording simultaneously. So they're going to have the same time and date stamp, but they're going to be in different folders. So the front camera is going to be in a different folder and the rear camera is going to be in a different folder. That for me was a little weird, but it kind of makes sense because you want to see everything on the front camera and everything on the back camera. So that could be a con or that could be a plus. Something else I like about it, it comes with two mounts. So the first time you mount it and something happens to that mount, you can take that off and install your second mount. Usually the parking monitor mode for this camera works very well. It's very sensitive. What it does is that if someone comes close to the car, or if the car is hit, it starts recording for a few minutes and it locks the video, so you have that evidence on there to record from the front and the back as well. And in the dual recording, like I said, it's very awesome. You can on screen, you can split the screen. The left side, you can have your rear camera. The right side, you can have your front camera, or you can have a picture-in-picture sequence. So you can have the entire screen taken up by the front, and then just there you might have your backup camera, or you can have the backup camera taking up the entire screen, or you can have, you know, the front camera and a little square picture-in-picture there for the backup camera. Like a lot of advertisements, the ads for this on like Amazon and other sites, the pictures are high definition compared to what actually comes out of the camera when you put that SD card in and you take it out. The actual pictures and video from using it does not look like the advertised pictures. Now, I will give it that when you're watching, you know, the video on here and the cameras in your car, it looks very crystal clear, great screen. But when you take it out, it does not look the same. The lens itself is very small here compared to this whole thing, and you're not getting a wide angle video. the video is pretty small. It's very condensed, and the whole area, it doesn't warrant having this thing here. And the camera just feels cheap in your hand, but it's not going to be in your hand when you're using it. So the night video is really not as great as advertised as well. And the lens, like I said again, is very small. The field of view is very narrow. Another con or deal breaker for me about this camera is the fact that the installation manual is pretty atrocious. I mean, the company could have gotten an English consultant to help them write the manual. Even on the box, as soon as you read the box, you're like, oh my god, this is going to be terrible. I'm going to have to install it on my own. And then once you read the manual and you're trying to work the camera, you completely become lost until you say screw it. I'm just gonna fiddle with it until I get it. For example, the fact that they tell you press M, to get to different menu items, that's absolutely not true. So if, for example, if you want to do pictures, you press M, it'll go to pictures, and then you press this thing that looks like a pause button. You press that, and then it'll take you into the actual menu items. But in the manual, they tell you to press M over again. That makes absolutely no sense. So it's a little confusing. And here we are in conclusion. I think for the CHORTAU, I keep calling it, I don't know exactly how to pronounce it. I think for this camera, I think the pros outweigh the cons, mainly because of what you can do with it, especially the backup camera. That's a great asset to have. A lot of these cameras do not have a backup camera. It does have a backup camera, but the fact that that camera has that super long wire makes it pretty difficult to install. And then the picture quality is, not that great, but if all you're looking for is just to document stuff, it would not get license plate numbers and the likes like more than 10 feet away from your car. So that's definitely a drawback. Those are the main factors to take into account when you're thinking of getting this camera. So if you have this camera, or if you have any questions, comments, any concerns, you like to leave your questions and comments down below. This camera does not come with an SD card, so you have to get one yourself. It does have override capabilities, and it also has the ability to record sound as well.